it get crazier. Check this out. Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas. Ex-NBA. Let me see. Oh, he played for the Grizzlies? I didn't even know that. Actually, we got the paperwork, man. Shout out Big Ack. We got the paperwork. We got the paperwork. Gilbert Arenas gets indicted by the feds for having high-stakes gambling casino games going on at his Encino, California mansion. 5 others indicted as well. Damn. Okay, so a sealed indictment was revealed on Wednesday when feds swooped in and arrested popular former basketball player and podcaster Gilbert Arenas for hosting illegal gambling at his house. The indictment below. Let's get to this indictment. 4 other men arrested Wednesday. You sound Russian. Evgeny Gershman, Evgeny Torvisky. Oh, he rocking with them Europeans. Alan Austria and Yaron Cohen are accused of running the poker games which featured Pot Limit Omaha, among other illegal games. What is that? Is that poker? They are accused of collecting a house fee from those participating in the games and hiring women who served drinks, provided massages, and offered companionship to the poker players. They're running a brothel, holy, per the U.S. Attorney's Office. Chefs, valets, and armed guards were also reported hired. They had a whole operation. They had a casino. Poker, women, booze, valet, security. They had a casino. Gershman is a suspected organized crime figure from Israel, per the U.S. Attorney's Office release. Evgen Kreshan was also arrested in connection with the illegal poker games. He was accused of tracking wins and losses, distributing chips, and paying employees assisting the games. Who snitched? Somebody snitched. How did they know about this guy? This guy, he seemed like the dealer. And he was the analytics guy. He's tracking wins and losses. This is big. This is that movie. This is like that movie Molly's Game with Idris Elba. Is it Idris in there? No, is Idris in there? Hold on. That was a great movie. I'd watch again. Because I don't even remember everything that happened. But I remember she was holding... Oh yeah, Idris is in the movie. Basically, let's see. Molly's Game. A former U.S. ski team standout runs a high-stakes, ultra-exclusive underground poker game that catches the attention of the feds. Based on a true story. This is basically, if you watch this movie... This is what this indictment sounds like. Literally. Gershman, Tovisky, Austria, Cohen, and Kratchen were all charged with 1 count of conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling business and 1 count of operating an illegal gambling business. Okay, conspiracy, and then you did it. All 6 men would appear to be arraigned at the U.S. District Court in downtown Los Angeles on Wednesday. If convicted, they face a statutory maximum sentence of 5 years in federal prison for each count. How many counts do they have? They got the conspiracy, and then they got the 1 count for operating. So that's 5 times 2 at least. Wait, where's the actual indictment, though? Oh, here we go. Holy, this is crazy, bro. So these are the guys. Evgeny Gershman, a.k.a. Giora, Evgeny Tervisky, aka Eugene, Alan Austria, aka Elika. Are they Russian? Yaren Cohen, YC, Arthur Katz, Gilbert Arenas, Agent Zero, Evgeny Krachin. Wow, look at this. Object of the conspiracy. Beginning no later. Hey, listen, let's break this down. Well, I don't know if we're gonna break it. We reading this. Let's see what's really going on. You know what I mean? Okay, beginning no later than on or about September 12th, 2021, and continuing through at least on or about July 20th, 2022, in LA County within the Central District of California and elsewhere, defendants, blase, 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 blah, all the names we just named, knowingly conspired with each other and with others known and unknown to the grand jury to operate an illegal gambling business in a violation of Title 18 United States Code Section 1955. Manner and means of the conspiracy. The object of the conspiracy was to be accomplished in substance as follows. Defendant Arenas would rent out the residence located on Gable Drive in Encino, California, the Gable House, yikes, for the purpose of hosting illegal poker games. I wonder who approached who. How did this start? Do they... Sorry, it's a little hot. How did this start? Did they approach Gilbert, or did Gilbert know where did they meet? Where are they meeting? Well, Gilbert is a poker player, so maybe they met at another illegal poker game, and they was like, "We could do this shit better. I got an extra crib." He might have known a couple guys. Yo, you could come. Oh, you know him? All right, he could come. We pull it up. I make it real. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Allegedly. Defendants, Gershman, others known to the grand jury would manage illegal pot limit Omaha, PLO, poker games, among other illegal gambling games at the Gable House. To profit from illegal gambling, defendants, that is, fee the house would charge from each pot as a percentage or a fixed. Okay, so they was making money. Okay, so defendants Gershman, Tversky, Austria, and Cohen would invite players. Okay, so they had the clientele. Defendant Gershman would hire a young woman who, in exchange for tips, would serve drinks, provide massages, and offer companionship to players at the Gable House. So I wonder if it was one of the young women they hired that tipped them off. Imagine they had an undercover. One of the women brings in a friend undercover the whole time. She the feds peeping everything. Because the operation ain't going for that long. Not even a year. September to at least July 2022. So that's about a 1 year thing. So it's not like they were running this. Okay. Serve drinks, massages, companionship, blah, blah, blah. All the defendants would charge the woman a tax, that is, percentage of the woman's earnings from working the games. Damn. They running a brothel. These guys sound like the guys in freaking, in Taken, those type of guys running the, you know what I'm saying? They had them joints on deck. They would hire chefs, valet, or at least they had security. Defendant Krachin would work as a chip runner at illegal poker games held at the Gable House, in which capacity would track players' winnings and losses, distribute poker chips to players, and pay employees. So he was in charge of payroll. It's the money man right here, Krachin. Money man. Damn, this is only, what page is this? It's only page 3. On or about the following dates, in furtherance of the conspiracy and the accomplishments of object, defendants, blah, 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 and others known and unknown to the grand jury committed the following overt acts among others. Okay. In 2021, defendants Arenas and Katz agreed to use Gable House. Okay, so in 2021 they come up with this plan. Who's Katz again? Arthur Katz? Who is that? Arthur Katz. AKA YC. Arthur Katz doesn't have a nickname. Okay. So on the they got text messages. Yo, this nigga, excuse my he got, yo, look at this. On September 12th, 2021, defendant Katz texted Arenas to ask whether he was still planning on doing their own game. So this is what I'm saying. Look, they must have met somewhere, or they probably knew each other. Like, yo, we could do this better than this joint. They ain't got no drinks for us. They ain't got no food. Like, we got money. I want catering at the poker games. I'm telling you, that's how it happened. Allegedly. To which Arenas replied, I might throw, I forgot what PLO stand for already. My fault. PLO, Pot Limit Omaha. Omaha. Pot Limit Omaha. Okay. I might throw a PLO at my house referring, damn, they got the text messages. Okay, so that was in September. So on October 8th, Arenas texted Katz back like, yo, pull up, will be available to host the amount. Okay, so he texts Katz to say he's available to do it, the amount of rent he wanted to charge for hosting it, and the number of games he planned on hosting at the Gable House per week. Wow. So they was doing multiple games. Okay, so it's looking like Gilbert's master plan from these text messages. Because it's not like, yo, let's call the guys over, we gonna do a little blase blah, one time thing. This is like, nah, you wanna have it? All right, pull up to my crib. I'ma host it. Y'all gonna pay rent, and we gonna do multiple times a week. So that was the second text back. On October 26th, this is 2 weeks later, while discussing staging the Gable House to host the poker games, defendant Katz texted Arenas a picture of a table with the words Lion's Den printed on the table. And then a week later, defendant Arenas texted Katz a picture of a gold trim. Look at this. A gold trim. This is kind of tacky. Gold trim poker table with the words Arenas Poker Club. Damn, can we make it any more hot? Lucky I don't have my soundboard. Printed on top of the table, image, da 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 da. So they got the text messages. So then on November 23rd, they texting 2 weeks at a time. Defendant Arenas texted Katz that his financial advisor, RJ, damn, dropping names, was asking for rent for the illegal poker game. Damn, he got RJ in it? You texting my name, homie? So this is official. Like, they really planning. He talking to his financial advisor on how to throw illegal poker games. RJ, I hope you're a licensed. Well, if he's licensed, he might lose his license. But as your financial advisor, you should have been like off the record. Well, if any advice was given, it should have been off the record. Number one. And you should have wanted no involvement, and you should have deterred him from doing this. On December 13th, defendant Katz sent Arenas text message stating that defendant Arenas owed defendant Katz $14,000 for tables and chairs as a startup expense for hosting illegal poker games. Okay, so what Gilbert say? That he had 14. Okay, so Gilbert says I got the bread for you. Money long. What you talking about? December 28th now, 5 days later, Arenas texted Katz he wanted the rake from the illegal poker game hosted at the Gable House for defendant Arenas Arenas' birthday to go to the mother of the deceased former lover. Texted Katz that he wanted the rake from an illegal poker game for defendant Arenas' birthday to go to the mother. Really? Who was that? So somebody he was rocking with before her mom died, he wants to donate the money from the pot to the mother. I don't know why he's telling Katz that. So Katz is helping him set. Katz is like the operations manager. Project managing. Interesting. This is interesting. On January 31st, 2022, defendant Katz texted Arenas the defendant Tervisky was ready to host illegal poker games at the Gable House on Wednesdays. So this is when Tervisky comes in. I don't know how they know Tervisky, but he comes in the convo January 2022. In February, defendant Katz texted Arenas that he had spoken with defendant Tervisky and that defendant Tervisky and his partners were ready to start hosting illegal poker games at the Gable House the following Wednesday. Damn, so they've been planning this since September 12th is like the first initial, on text at least, because obviously they had a conversation before for him to text Arenas still planning on doing your own game, right? So September they're planning actively, and then they don't get it rocking until, let's see, February 16th, defendant Gershman sent various phone contacts or text advertising. So damn. So okay, so now they putting people on. They promoting they're promoting the illegal games right now. February 16th, defendant Gershman sent various contacts or text advertising the games. Tonight, new place. Wow, they giving people hours notice. I guess this is how these things work. You can't be having the address out there for days and then you got people planning to rob. I don't know. Safety reasons, I'm guessing. You got the emojis to entice you. Look, we got the food and the booze and the money. Tonight, new place. So it seems like they have Gershman and Tervisky. They have the clientele that on a drop of a dime, they come into play. They come in to gamble. He tells them tonight. So on February 16th, probably later that night, defendant Tervisky sent defendant Cohen a text advertising the illegal poker game at the Gable House and asked defendant Cohen to send players to the game. So Tervisky hits Cohen. Cohen got players coming to the game. 16th again. Defendant Katz texted defendant Tervisky the gate code. Okay, so now it's official. They're getting gate codes and everything. On the 17th, defendant Tervisky texted defendant Cohen a pay-o sheet showing the amount of the rake, the taxes charged, and the expense incurred to host the illegal poker game, and listed the illegal poker game's partner as YC, referring to Cohen, Elika referring to Austria, Giora. Okay, so this on the next day, boom, they computing. So about a week later, on February 23rd, defendant Tervisky sent defendant Gershman a text message asking whether they were going to host their game. Damn, so they on it. They like, yo, defendant Tervisky is texting Gershman asking whether we're going to host a game. So they want another game night at the crib. Gilbert, you ready? I need another game night. Gershman, you ready? On February 23rd, defendant Tervisky texted Katz that their game that night was canceled, to which defendant Katz replied, "What am I supposed to tell Gilbert that you canceled the game 4 hours before?" Defendant Katz texted Gilbert that defendant Tervisky would not be hosting the illegal blah 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 on March 7th. Okay, so I wonder what happened there. March 7th, defendant Tavitsky texted Katz asking to move the poker game at the Gable House from Wednesday nights to Tuesday nights. They moving a little too shaky. I don't like this. If we got it set on Wednesdays, why we changing the nights? What's up with that? Tavitsky texted Kat. Tavitsky moving funny. Who's Tavitsky again? Okay. And these texts are mad far apart. So March 7th. So on the 13th of April, the next month, in response to the question whether he would be attending the game that evening, defendant Usher replied, "What kind of question is that? It's my game." This is weird. On June 8th, they skipping mad days. Defendant Cohen texted defendant Gershman a pay-o sheet showing the amount of rake, players' winnings, losses, and amounts of the defendants, da-da-da-da. Okay, so everybody getting paid. Everybody happy. Same day, June 8th. Defendant Cohen texted defendant Gershman, balance still for next week rake and game, plus 6,400. Not really sure what that means. Defendant Gershman recruited staff to work at the game. So Gershman, he was the recruiter. On the 16th, they went back to February. Gershman sent texts to women inviting them in coded language to work at the illegal poker game. I want to know what that coded language was. On May 24th, defendant Gershman sent text messages to women asking her in coded language whether she was open to engaging in prostitution at his illegal game. So I'm guessing one of the women snitched? Somebody snitched. We got to find who snitched. It's like to make it make sense. So he's offering some money for, On June 28th, defendant Gershman sent text messages to a woman inviting her. So he keep texting people to work, blah, blah, blah. Charge women 25 to 35% of their earnings. Damn, they pimping for real. Because he taking mad bread, like 25 to 35%. How much were they making? Mind you, these are big rollers. This ain't no small game right here. This is a big game they're probably playing. So they playing with money. But 25 to 35%? Gosh. They taxing. I'm sorry. Y'all taxing. 20, a quarter of the bread? How much money are they making? Well, they doing bartending. They bringing a drink, so they getting tips there. They doing massages. They doing favors. I don't know. Okay, so Gershman was the recruiter for the joints, for the shorties. Tavitsky hired the dealers, so he got the in with the dealers. Defendant Gershman sent defendant Cohen a voice note telling defendant Cohen that defendant Tavitsky hired the poker dealers for illegal. Okay, July 11th. Defendant Tavitsky texted a phone contact name Frankie poker dealer. Damn, they saying names. That the contact could work. Okay, so they getting Tavitsky got the casino workers. Well, I don't know if they work in the casinos, but he got the dealers. Gershman, he got the women. And let's see what Kratchen got. Was a chip runner. So he the chip runner. He know how the chips work. He probably has a background working at the casino or wherever. I don't know. June 8th, defendant Kratchen texted Gershman, "Hi, where should I bring the money and when?" June 8th, Kratchen texted back a sheet showing unpaid tips owed to the working woman from the prior night's game. On the 22nd of June, defendant Kratchen texted 2 pay-o sheets to defendant Tavitsky showing different rake amounts. Okay, so this is interesting. He had to tell him, yo, they ain't get paid on the 8th. And then he texted him 2 pay-o sheets 2 weeks later. Let's keep that in mind. Overt Act 31. July 13th, defendant Kratchen texted Tavitsky a pay sheet of the prior night's. Okay, so he's keeping the money. He's the accountant. So we got Kratchen the accountant. We got Gershman. He's the recruiter for the workers. No, Gershman is the pimp. Let's just call him that. Chavinsky is the recruiter. Gershman pimp, Chavinsky recruiter, Kratchen accountant. They all have jobs here. It's one whole operation. Not very smooth from what it seems like. It's a lot of, I don't know. They're giving us bits and pieces though, so it could be me. Austria recruited armed security. Okay. We got our military guy. He's pretty much asking defendant Austria recruited California CA to work armed security. So he's getting the security. Everybody got their jobs. They breaking it down. Okay, this guy handled that. This guy handled this. What did Gilbert do? He just supplied the crib, right? Defended Gilbert Arenas. This is what we really want to know. It's a little hot. Sorry. Defendant Arenas monitored the illegal gambling at the Gable House. He monitored it, okay? What does that mean? February 25th. Defendant Arenas sent Defendant Katz a message asking Defendant Katz how much rent Defendant Katz had collected as payment for hosting. On March 16th, in a group chat with Katz and two others, Arenas complained that players and girls come high, drunk already to the games. Really? So Gershman, he bringing, okay. He bringing the streetwalkers? He ain't even bringing the high class joints? What's going on? On April 1st, April Fool's, Defendant Arenas, so he complaining that, yo, you bringing players, where they coming from? Because they already messed up. We need them to be functional when they get here and get lit while they're here, not coming to the spot lit. We talking about money here, right? All right, so on April 1st, Arenas texts Katz to ask whether, it seems Arenas knows Katz the best, whether Katz is going to pay him for rent. Okay, so Arenas want to know where my money at. So 2 weeks later, they keep doing this 2-week thing. Defendant Katz, I have an idea that might bring in new players for you. I'm going to do a YouTube episode of me at the game, but blur out players and girls that don't want to be seen for my channel. So he thought this was a good idea. I don't know if he actually did this, but this was a stupid idea. Let's record a YouTube video and just blur out the players and the girls. Let's record a YouTube video of an illegal gambling scene, but let's blur out the players and the girls. Let me see what he said again. I'ma do a YouTube episode of me at the game, but blur out players and girls that don't want to be seen. I think they spelled seen wrong. They're supposed to put SEEN for my channel. How stupid. You're literally doing an illegal gambling operation, but you want to put it on YouTube. That was his great idea. Gilbert, I could have, you know what? I thought he was smarter than that. I really did. Stupid. April 20th, Arenas sent Defendant Katz a text message asking Katz whether he had anyone who could host illegal games at the Gable House. Wait, Arenas sent Katz. So he wants somebody else to do it. He being greedy. So he want games Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. Monday through Wednesday. This is nighttime gig. He do the podcast in the morning. Nighttime he lit. Anyway, May 18th. Damn, this is crazy. This is like a novel. Defendant Arenas sent Katz a text message directing Defendant Katz to find a new host for illegal. Wow, so he want he want more money, basically. Let's skip through this. Arenas demanding rent for illegal. So in July, he demanding rent now. So he's not getting his money. Operation of an illegal poker game at the Gable House on July 19th and 20th. Okay, so in the late evening, July 19th, early morning, July 20th, 2022, Gersh, Torvisky, Katz, Cohen, Austria, Kratchen operated a legal game at the Gable House. So everybody's there. Wow, 26 players and over a dozen staff working the game. Wow. 26 players. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of money. On July 19th, Kratchen worked the chip runner at the Gable House. Beginning no later than in or February 2022 and continuing at least. Oh, this is the same thing. On September 9th, within the petition seeking return the funds seized. Wait, what? Hold on. Each aiding and abetting the others conducted, financed, managed, supervised, directed, and owned illegal gambling business in violation, have been remained for a period in excess of 30 days and had a gross revenue. Okay. I'm just trying to read this through, see if it's worth even. Investigation on about from the master bedroom of a residence located. Wait, what? And in the matter within the jurisdiction of a branch, made the following oh. Wait, what did he do? So they're saying Gilbert made a false report, made a following materially false statement and misrepresentation to the United States Customs and Border Protection, knowing that this statement and representation was untrue. Gilbert falsely stated that he was not involved in whatever was going on at the party, referring to the illegal gambling at the So you're saying you weren't involved at the poker house? I mean, at the residence, your residence. They saying it's your crib, and you weren't involved at the poker games at your crib? Okay, they believed you, right? In fact, Arenas. Referring to the illegal games. In fact, as defendants Arenas then knew, defendant Arenas had knowingly provided gambling equipment at the Gable House to be used to host the games on July 19th, and knowingly rented out the house to be used to host the game, and was collecting rent from the host for operating an illegal poker. So basically, he probably saying, oh, well, I rented it to a friend. That's probably what he told him. Not knowing they got text messages, dummy. He told him probably, oh, I just rented it out to a friend. He told me he was doing parties, That's probably what he told him, acting stupid. But now you can go to jail for acting stupid. Idiot boy. Object of the conspiracy, beginning no later than So everybody knowingly conspired. Manner and means of conspiracy, the object, Okay, so Gershman. Ooh. This is interesting. Gershman, citizen of Israel, and therefore an alien in the United States, would enter into a sham marriage with co-defendant Kajakari, a United States citizen, to procure an adjustment of immigration status. So he basically probably paid to marry somebody. Interesting. Gersh would provide financial support to the defendant in exchange for her participation. So Gersh, who was the pimp, he's pimping, and he's not even a U.S. citizen. He's pimping. This is like movies. This is the movie shit, bro. This is movie shit. Gershman and Kajakari would file a document in the U.S. citizen to demonstrate validity of their sham marriage, including staged photos of the wedding ceremony and photos of the defendants with their friends and family. I wish they would have added those. That would have been funny. Okay, so the married couple would submit sworn immigration, defendants Gershman, verbal, written, false statements under penalty. Ooh. Yeah, they can go to jail just for lying about that, right? About the marriage. So he's cooked either way. On or about the following dates. And furtherance of the conspiracy to accomplish defendants Gershman and Kojakari and others known unknown committed overt okay. Gershman, Kojakari, what time? Where should I pick you up? 3 later texted. Wouldn't okay. So on February 4th, they got married. March 14th. Wow. So they got married on the 4th. About a month later, he sends her a check for $1,500. Oh, is that rent money? He should register permanent resident, so he not wasting no time. A couple months later, he registering to be a permanent citizen. I mean, it makes sense. That's the goal, right? That contained the following false statements he knew were false at the time. That defendant Gershman resided at a residence at Glade Avenue, Woodland Hills, California. The defendant Gershman had never been arrested, cited, charged, or detained for any reason by law enforcement, and that defendant did not intend to engage in illegal gambling. On April 8th, the wife signed a petition for alien relative that contained following false statement that she knew was false at the time. That defendant resided with her at a residence. Oh, so they were lying about them living together. I mean, okay. April 14th, defendant caused a fraudulent application. So this whole thing was a fraud. All right, that's basically what that's out. So Gersh the pimp is an illegal alien, and he's pimping chicks for the poker games. This guy's crazy. This guy's crazy. Subscribe willingly. Okay, this is more immigration stuff. A statement of no. Have you ever been arrested? Okay. Gershman had been he had been arrested before, huh? Detained by. Okay. A statement of no. Okay, this is okay. A bunch of the same thing. Bunch of fraud marriage. Same thing. Same thing. All right. Wow. Okay. I wonder why they gave so much attention to Gershman. I guess because he's an illegal alien. Yo, so Gilbert had his own Molly's game. Gilbert's game. That's what I'm going to name the title of the video. Gilbert's game. Because something just ain't right, man.